Any national assembly, any parliament in the countries of the European Union faces this dilemma. The dilemma is how much it is sovereign, how much it is capable of enacting law based on the democratic legitimacy from its people. And the answer is, on one side, 100%. On the other side, you have to face a reality, as any MP or party leader, that in the national assemblies of each individual member states of the European Union, you have kind of a second tier of legislation that very often is about just adapting the laws that were accepted and proposed and passed through the European Parliament, European Union Council, which is intergovernmental body of the European Union, and introduced and implemented by the European, and supervised, the implementation process is supervised by the European Commission. This makes this process, this is an important context, because in the national assemblies, 60–70% of the legislation that is passed through the chambers is actually voting in the law that Poland has decided on together with 27 members of the European Union. It is therefore sometimes acceptable or understood that there is fast tracking. There is fast tracking because the parliamentary process has taken place on the European level with democratic legitimacy from the member states, from the democratically elected governments of member states, and then the national parliaments need basically to adopt legislation that is adhering to the agreements of the whole European member states and the whole European Union. That leaves a little margin for the traditional function of the parliament. This little margin, which is about political conflict, manifestation of power of the dominant forces in any parliament. In the Polish case, we have had in the last term, and maybe this will change now in the new term, an unprecedented moment in which the legislative process in Poland is dependent on three chambers, on three institutions, mostly. I mean, there are also nuances and it's more complex, but mostly. Lower chamber, upper chamber, and the president.